daylight workout. In Alaska is how many days out of the year? That's total sunlight for you kids. So I feel for those trying to go to bed and the sun's still in your face. Trust me, not easy. Speaking of what, I got some stuff for my book club. Something to get your parents when you ever go to the library. You might want to check this out for them. That's something to read. The Cruiser by David Boyle. Squared away. Best-selling author. Moving right along. Part of my book club. Ta-da! Forever After. Walt Disney, that's right. Amazing bedtime stories. That'll help you not get so scared when there's a thunderstorm rolling by. Mom, Dad is a mountain classic. I'm just here now. A better way to distract that little youngster and read a bedtime story. When it's raining for him, he could best play his drums up there. That's what I was told by him. Dear old grandmother had come running and screaming into her bedroom. What that, well, I don't know what that is, but it's up, try to jump out of the closet. She says, oh, don't worry, it's just Mickey Mouse playing his drums up there. And today we're going to read Hee-Haw. The Princess and the Frog. Something old and something new. Get this at your local library in the world, wherever you are, here in the U.S. or your local bookstore. God bless them for keeping their bookstore going. All you kids out there, young and old, I'm a kid at heart. I miss hand-drawn stuff. Lion King, Beauty and the Beast, all kinds of Walt Disney movies. Hand-drawn, not just handmade. ISH. New Orleans was buzzing with exciting news. Prince Naveen and Tiana were getting married. Everyone gathered to welcome the king and the queen in town and for the ceremony. Tiana was nervous about meeting Naveen's parents, but the king and queen were very kind to her. The queen even gave Tiana royal helpers to plan the wedding. You see that? Look at that, squirrel away. Soon the royal helpers visited. They told Tiana what her wedding would be like. Well, to do this and this, no one asked Tiana was what she wanted. Later, Tiana asked her friend Charlotte for advice. I don't want to upset the king and queen, but I'm not sure I like what that royal helpers have planned. It's your wedding. You should do what you want, Charlotte said. So Tiana made her first wedding decision. She asked Charlotte to be her maid of honor. Later that day, Tiana's mother had a special surprise. I'd like to make your dream wedding dress for you, she said, showing Tiana a picture of the gown she had designed. What do you think of this? Explained. Oh, Mama, that's perfect, Tiana explained. See the dress? Prince Naveen and Louis secretly planned the music for the wedding procession. The royal helpers will choose boring music, Naveen told Louis. The perfect music should be jazzy and fun. It should make Tiana feel like dancing. They sat there thinking, what could they think of? After everyone else had gone to bed, Tiana sneaked into the Lava's kitchen to work on their reception menu with Charlotte. I want to serve all of our favorite foods. Tiana said, let's start with gumbo. See them coming together, trying to think of what to do. When they had finished cooking, Charlotte said, Tia, every bride needs something old, something new, something borrowed, and something blue. So here's your something blue. She gave Tiana a beautiful blue necklace. You see that? The next day, Tiana faced the royal helpers. Thank you for sharing your ideas, Tiana said. But I already have agreed. The royal helpers were surprised. They thought the princess would want the wedding plan for her. Just then, the Queen of Moldavia walked into the room. Why do the royal helpers look so confused? The Queen Tiana looked at the floor nervously. Would the queen be angry about Tiana's wedding plans? Oh. But when Tiana explained her ideas for the wedding, the queen smiled. I'm not upset at all. I should have known you would enjoy planning things personally. Then the queen opened the box she was carrying. I did have one request. Would you wear this at the ceremony? I wore it on the day I wed the king. Tiana was honored to borrow the queen's tiara. Soon it was time for final fitting of Tiana's wedding gown. It was stunning and best of all, she could feel her mother's love in every stitch. Everything seemed perfect, but Tiana missed her bride. The night before the wedding, she stood on her balcony and gazed at the evening star. She was sad that her father could not be at the ceremony, but Tiana knew her father's love would always be there with her. See that? Father's love. Being a dad myself. The next day, Charlotte's father walked her out down the aisle in her bouquet. She carried her father's fair old spoon. She wore the new gown from her mother, the tiara borrowed from the queen, and the blue necklace under her bow. As the ceremony ended, Tiana knew that no matter how wonderful her wedding plans were, it was love that had made it a perfect dance. Tiana and Naveen left the church hand in hand. And their first dance and all of New Orleans turned out their first appearance. From gumbos to beignets, the wedding guests enjoyed Princess Tiana's cooking. And as Tiana and Naveen took the first bite of their delicious cake, they shared the sweetness of their new life together. The Tangled, best wedding day ever. A new story. Two lovebirds. Being it's Valentine's Day month. The month of love. Oui, monsieur. Viva la French. God bless. Spring had sprung and Flynn invited Rapunzel to take a special trip with him. Where are we going, she asked. If I tell you, it'll ruin the surprise. Flynn said with a grin. Max and Pascal decided to come along too. You see them? That's Max and Pascal. Rapunzel hanging from the tree. Based on Walt Disney. The evening Glenn took Rapunzel out on the lake. The lovely night reminded them of times past. Flynn wanted to ask Rapunzel to marry him. He reached into his pocket to find the ring, but it wasn't there. It was still on the shore with Max. Luckily, Max noticed the same thing. He sent Pascal flying toward the boat, carrying the ring. Now that Flynn had the ring, he asked Rapunzel, will you marry me, of course? Rapunzel said on their way home, Rapunzel wanted to tell everyone the happy news. Their friends at the Snuggly Duckling were delighted. Everyone offered to help the couple with the wedding. You see that? Quite the many friends went down. You wish you had that many friends in the closet? I understand where your parents are coming from. I tell you, I helped Rapunzel. That's when they have to pick up everybody. All the teddy bears, Care Bears, designer cake. They baked it nice, and finally, Rapunzel had the perfect wedding cake. Look how big that wedding cake is. Almost as big as her. And oh, like again. While the decorations Rapunzel tore looked at many fancy bouquets, but it took a field of wildflowers to please Rapunzel. Then Flynn and Rapunzel asked Pascal and Maxim a very important question. Will you be our ring bearers? They answered with a delightful. And not. When it came time to find a dress, Rapunzel tried on gown after gown. But none of the dresses were quite right, so Rapunzel decided to create her own. She sketched and sketched until the design was exactly what she wanted. You see that? On the morning of the wedding, everyone waved to the king, queen, and the royal coach. When the coach arrived at the church, the king greeted Rapunzel, proudly took her arm, and the ceremony began. Flynn beamed as Rapunzel walked down the aisle. Meanwhile, something had happened to the ring bearers. Next, this means the Flynn and Rapunzel wedding rings had rolled away. Max chased one ring, and the positive chased the other rack through all the reception chambers. They arrived back at the summit just in time. Max and Pascal saved the wedding by finding the rings, but everything for the reception had been ruined. But Rapunzel and Flynn didn't have to worry for long. The friends who had helped them plan their special day also helped them clean up. Soon the couple was dancing happily. As Thor adjusted to the last of the flowers, Rapunzel and Flynn took their first taste of the wedding cake. The new couple was thankful their friends had helped them prepare their perfect wedding twice. As they rode away, Rapunzel cried, "I'll have the best day ever." The You know, in relationships, there's always something going on, even at home. I felt sometimes, even watching sports, football games, that there's kids out there like you, young, that you don't understand why mom and dad argue. Sometimes they need a time alone. Sometimes they need a moment of silence. Sometimes they need prayers. So what you do, before going to bed, make sure you say your prayers, that God watch over mommy and daddy. And even if things don't work out, and you see mommy has to have a talk with you sooner or later, she's going to go somewhere and live separately from you, that doesn't mean she won't be coming back. That doesn't mean daddy won't be coming back. It means that they're trying to move on with their life and they're trying to be happy. You want them to be happy, don't you? Hopefully things do work out. I pray they work out. Just remember, kids, you're not alone in the world. And I know it's hard sometimes watching your parents argue back and forth, even over finances. But it's not your fault. It never is your fault. Take it from somebody who used to be a kid and is a kid at heart who knows exactly how it feels being the one. The oldest, yet always the wisest to blame. That's always the tallest kid that was pointed at first. Trust me. Something I've learned through experience in life's lessons. Care Bear cares. And if you can't find these books at the bookstore, there's always Barney's and Nobles. You can also order this one. This one right here. Walt Disney, courtesy of Mr. Walt. God bless him, and Walt Disney has support down in Orlando, Florida. Next, I'm going to read for all you teenagers and young adults and older adults. Fergie, that's right. See her $2 on the front? That's her right there. God bless her. You know, kids thought you could have a lot of fun. Well, if you want to listen, don't drive your parents too crazy. Trust me. Also, if you find any parents feeling damn sad, make sure you have them call this number. Write it down. You never know. You might need help a friend. From the director and CEO of Morale Division. Number one, right here. Hello. Notice I did say write it down somewhere. You never know. You might need it. Sooner or later, these people help people feel better about themselves. Not just on my Facebook. Toll free. Saving a life that needs saving, being a friend there for them. Care Bear cares. Much love. Continuing on from chapter 1. That would be... Where left off? Ah. God bless the Royal Guardians of Guardians. And James Bond. She places someone who looks after people, not just her whole family. Going from a family of nurses, I would know. What do you think watches over you and Prier over there, you British people? British friend. Can't hold on. I keep you on my prayers. Kate, Middleton, everybody else, Little George. Bad your luck. Prince of Wales defensively. Ta-da! Pearl out right here. Ta-da! Ripples on the poison pond. Continuing on, Queen Mother and Prince Philip expressed the view that the Duchess was being ungrateful and selfish, coming towards the end of a Harity weekend. Sarah was taken back by her mother-in-law's forthright approach and surprised that her guest, Sir Robert, who had been asked to stay behind, slipped immediately into his role as Her Majesty's senior courtier. The glee of the young princess over their grandmother's visit added to the atmosphere of confusion, and as glum Sarah saw the Queen to her card, dispiritedness was reflected in her gait, a characteristic which has caused one member of the royal family to dub her as the milkmaid from Dumber Down Farm, another to remark uncharitably, "She's a bolter just like her mother." Sir Matthew Farrer, kind and gracious man, God bless, had been private solicitor to the Queen since 1965. How many knew that? God bless. Let's see, this guy says he kept an understandably low profile under his head of graying hair. As the legal brains of the royal household, he needed not only one of his professional ability, but the additional skills of a courtier to cope with Her Majesty's sensitive and complex legal affairs. Excuse me. I only had one divorce. He was once told a younger lawyer seeking guidance on a point of matrimonial law, which admirably modestly Sir Matthew refrained from mentioning that it was the divorce of Princess Margaret and Lord Snowdon. In more recent times, he had prepared the papers for the divorce of Princess Anne and Mark Phillips. The sun following the Queen's afternoon visit to Sunhill Parking House, Sir Matthew legal team from Farrer and Company, a Lincoln Inn, still traveled there to discuss the terms of imminent separation of the Yorks, looking mournful and close to tears. Sarah left the meeting to attend her last engagement. It was a Thanksgiving service in the Chapel Royal of St. Peter's Church at the Tower of London, the very prison which Claire Grabsky had jokingly asked Sarah to have her stepfather incarcerated for tearing pictures of the royal wedding of her brother-in-law. Claire was there wearing her "It's Me Again" sweatshirt. "I brought Fergie a toy for Eugene," she said. "But there's no way I could get to her." She looked sad. But as the car pulled away, she caught sight of me and craned her neck to wave and give me a little smile. And then she was gone. Sarah York is not as tough as Diana, explained the royal inside. Her actions was that of a desperate woman trying to save herself. She wanted to be free. It would never occur to her that she would be condemned far more viciously than Princess away. A Sheraton Park Tower hotel stood out like one of the Prince Charles architectural carbuncle amongst it. Edward and Georgian neighborhood on London's most delightful boulevard. Restaurant 101 faced directly onto the Knight's Bridge, and despite the tinted glass windows, diners were on full to view passersby on the main road to Harvey Nichols and Harold. The attraction behind the glass at 3:30 on the afternoon of Tuesday, 17 March, was the Duchess of York, who was gaily drinking champagne with Johnny Bryan. The Duchess, her companion, sat there laughing and chattering in the guest staying at the Sheraton. Then someone from the hotel management came over to greet her. She said something like, "We're here celebrating. My friend had just become the father of twins. They seem there drinking and talking for ages. Then they must have been there for hours. As she left the restaurant, the Duchess saw an eye-catching advertisement, which was playing for the hotel's casino right on Knightsbridge. Why that jelly, said the Oriental script. On the display panels in letter 18 inches high, as an illuminated map showed Thai Airways flight paths to Bangkok and Bali. The Duchess made a mental note for future reference. Only hours later, first editions of the Daily Mail. Puppeteer Lord Rothermer. Breaking news of the Sunny Hill legal meeting and foreshadowing the collapse of the marriage. Were arriving at the newspaper's office on Kingston High Street, a mile up the road from the Sheraton. As quickly as the morning mist over Sun Hill Park's interest faded in the general election, which Prime Minister John Major called for 9 April meeting, there are only one talking point amongst the electorate, which had already become bored with the lack of lust. Performance of the political vote catchers. For the next 7 days, just one topic intrigued and infuriated the consistency as the mystery surrounding the breakup began to unfold. Somehow, the economic issues on which the election was being fought rated a poor second to the problems of the travel route. The Labour leader, Neil Kinnock, the one was left upon her whether the sudden distraction would cost Labour the election. At this stage, the Yorks carried on as though nothing untoward was happening, truth, the Mail's editor. Sir David English had fallen. The Queen's hand. Prince Andrew left Sunninghill on time at 8 a.m. at the wheel of his Blue H registration Damier. His detective in the passenger seat to motor the Army Staff College at Camberley in Surrey, where he was in his third week of an intensive command training course. Carefully made up for the performance she knew lay ahead and wearing black patterned leggings and a long loose-fitting white jumper, Sarah strode from the house 35 minutes later, escorting Princess Beatrice to the waiting Ford Granada. Looking confident, Sarah chatted to Beatrice as they returned to Upton House School. The Duchess once again carrying out the duty that Nanny Allison had performed in more normal times. For Beatrice's sake, it was crucial for Sarah to put on a brave face in front of the other mothers whose natural curiosity had understandably reached a fever pitch of general excitement. Such was her determination that this day should proceed as normal that she even went ahead with an appointment with her visiting physical fitness instructor, Josh Salzman. He arrived at Sunninghill soon after the school trip. She worked out 45 minutes of the exercise routine, which along with the other slimming aids had kept her figure trim since the birth of Eugene. Salzman, 35, a Windsor-based American, had just been taking Sarah throughout his body fit regime 3 times a week for the past 2 years. It was made me feel more positive, the Duchess testified. Inventively, Salzman was just asked about the York's martial troubles. I feel sorry for them both, having to sort out their problems in the public eye, he said. They have been watching all the time. Not many marriages can stand that. I hate to see my reports about the roads that my wife, Laura, and I have. The Duchess, he added, was one of the strongest people I know. Already mentally strong and also one of the strongest women physically. At 1 p.m., Prince Andrews returned home to join his wife for lunch. It was all going good according to their plan to keep everything outwardly normal. Sarah collected Beatrice from school after Andrew had returned to Camberley, and she took both her children for a walk in the grounds of Windsor Castle. Normal enough, but to all intents and purposes, it was Sarah's last day as the members of the royal family. Even while she was walking, the Washington Public Relations Company was issuing a statement on behalf of Steve Wyatt. The company's Robert Schneider read, "If the rumor is true, I am deeply saddened by the news, and I wish the Duke and Duchess of York the very best of luck in these trying times." Schneider said his client had no more information about the royal couple's troubles than had appeared in newspaper in the United States and on British television. If ever Sarah had projected the way fate might intervene in marriage, she could hardly have conjured up more miserable scenario. There have been a few worse to survive in Iran 6 years ago to the day. Sarah had probably shown off her engagement ring, which interested had projected the fate intervened in her marriage, she could hardly have conjured up more miserable scenario. There have been a few worse ways to celebrate an anniversary 6 years ago to the day. Sarah had probably shown off her engagement ring, which Andrew helped design. Large oval ruby set in 10 drop diamonds, as she told the world. We are good friends, a good team. Now on Thursday, 19 March 1982, the engagement ring and her wedding band of Welsh gold were the only tangible evidence of that loving friendship. As Sarah dashed from the schoolyard with Princess Beatrice after morning classes, only a few inches of bare arm separated these rings from symbols of another friendship. D.Y.'s black strap wristwatch, which was clearly visible beneath the sleeve of a rose-padded black jumper. At 11:30 a.m., the six correspondents declared to the court of St. James Pass through the private purse gate and crossed the forecourt to Buckingham Palace. A red leather doorman ushered them into the ground floor, opposite Charles Anson, the Queen's 50,000-a-year press secretary. Each of the reports was handed a brief press release it read. In view of the media speculation which the Queen finds suspicious as well during the election campaign, Her Majesty is issuing the following statement. Last week, lawyers acting for the Duchess of New York has initiated discussion about a formal separation of the Duke and Duchess. These discussions are not yet complete, and nothing will be said until they are. The Queen had hoped that the media will spread the Duke and Duchess and their children any intrusion. Anson had been given a more highly paid job as the head of public relations with the merchant bankers of Glenworth. Benson Prier. The reports excited questions for a few minutes, but the unusual come in revised before seeing them out of his office. At 12:15 p.m., Paul Reynolds at BBC Radio felt his news story from a radio car parked at Canada Gate and went back inside the palace for another chat with Anson, with whom he had a good working relationship. What Anson told him, not attributable briefing in the next few minutes, resulted in Reynolds read to report via the World at One program at lunchtime. He began. The knives are out of Fergie in the palace. They, the palace, are claiming that she had been employing a public relations firm to brief. The Daily Mail, which is the source of the story, even named the firm and the gentleman concerned that they're getting their briefing in relation. When he got a chance to reply, Sir Tim Bell, head of Lowbell Communications, knowledge that he was the man referred to, but strongly denied he had played any role in the breakup. A member of his firm, David McNethrew, however, had been consulting the judges in an official capacity. Sir David English made it clear that his newspaper did not rely on PR consulting for exclusive royal stories. Reynolds' report continued. However, I have rarely heard palace officials speak in such terms about someone. They are talking about her unsuitably for public life, royal life, her behavior in being photographed, and hello. Magazines fooling around putting paper bags on her head on an aircraft while she was being watched by reporters. Hello, the Spanish owner, owned weekly which shone scandal in its columns, had featured a picture essay on the Duke and Duchess at the home with the Jones 18 months earlier. The house had not been asked about the project, much to his charity. Now Sarah was getting the blame from Reynolds. There was more. I think the thing that has done them most of all, the fact revealed in the Daily Mail, and says she's only have been the original source of this, that she had a private lunch with the Queen. One official said it's unusual for its kind of private lunch to pitch up in the papers. The Queen is said to be very sad at the whole thing, and if one added the Queen was pretty angry, one would not be far from wrong. But I can still tell you the palace officials have been shown by what had happened. They didn't expect all this to appear in the papers. They were rather hoping that this could be handled rather quietly and in a civilized manner, and not all out in the open. As the nations tried to digest the catalog of Sarah's supposed wrongdoings, one thing was immediately clear: Rand's report was proof, what she had long been telling her husband and friends, that, in her opinion, the cause was only to persuade the impact of a BBC report and was immediately inexplosive. Although Rand had experienced an arson enemy, it was been real that the tirade had come from his lips. The plum had excised in front of the symbol. Joe seemed to desert him once, and he started talking to a lone reporter that he knew well. It was also implicit that the words Reynolds had chose that the question had in some way very sanctioned errors and since comments about Sarah suitably for public royal life. Sarah was right, Prier. She was the man an apology and got one. This was like applying a tourniquet to someone's neck after they had been going to. The damage had been done, and it was irreparable. Despite the apology noted, the Times diary, she was clearly been declared a non-person by the palace. What's the private things Andrew Sarah now their conspicuous efforts had been seen together despite the turmoil surrounding them. The strategy had been carefully worked out. Only an hour after the couple was supposed to be at Tangled, they surprised staff at the Capitol Hotel on Basil Street, just a few minutes away from Harrods, by arriving to have lunch with our four friends at the hotel's French restaurant. One was occupied, another table said they were there when I arrived. At 12:45, they were still there. At 3 o'clock when I left, you wouldn't have guessed that there was something wrong from their behavior. A member of the Capitol's manager said the Duchess had been coming here for some years, but I don't expect what we're seeing or much of her or more forecasting with that particular Duchess might or might not do what is to become a fascinating pastime of aficionados of royal scandal. They would have known, for instance, that her lover of 3 years of Grand Prix millionaire Patty McGilly could tell them of the growing love for Prince Andrew. And Patty had been widowed for 5 years. And Sarah, although Sarah had asked him about her future, he wouldn't wasn't prepared to tell that on one who skied with him at Berber. She did this decent thing by telling what was happening between her and Andrew, heaving up the face-saving, charitable New York sprout and about. Again, that might for a candlelight dinner at cheap. Michael Rook's waterside inn by the river thought was separate, even though the fact was summering in. They were sleeping in separate rooms. The Yorks were anxious to perform one night ancients of upper-class manners. When in public, keeping civilized, this precisely they continued the next night. They went to a party of Elton John's mansion in Woodside at Old Windsor. They arrived at Andrew Devner's at 8:45. He was the he was at the wheel, and Sarah was just at his side. Although they had not been in the car case where they left Sunny Hill just a few miles away. Two full waiting reporters and TV cameras, they had been there. Excellence preparing and teamed up along the road, a detective taking back the spare car. Some of these guys should probably good Billy Cornelly, Rock, Artisting, and White Truth Skyler, Dame, Edna, and Wingers. Creator Bear. I'm gonna stop there. Okay, Bear. Give the rest. You got to carry your health, otherwise, what good are you to anybody? T1, God bless her and her kids and family, and Prince Andrew and everybody over there. I keep in prayers And remember when I said, kids, while you're seeing your parents, think of this little lullaby. When you're feeling alone, look around you, your parents will be home. Pray day and night that God watch you this day, this night. Pray hard, little ones, love so tight, be kind to one another, as Care Bear said this night. Love each other day and night, that God watch over you, I pray this night. Much love from my heart to you, right here at Kentucky, Elizabethtown. Stay warm, have pleasant dreams. As I pray from me to you, and stay in school, don't drop, don't quit. One door opens many to the future. Teachers are not there to fail you, not there to hurt you. There to help you again, to show you how the real world really is. They're there to guide you, help you reach your dreams. God bless them, and God be always with you, especially those without parents. I pray you find ones worthy of you, and your friendship, and your trust. I've had kids write me, wanting me as their parent. Keep writing. Eventually you get a hold of me sooner.